So, diesmal gehen wir unten rein. Hier scheint nichts drin zu sein. Was ist hier? Jetzt auch nicht weiter.
Welcome to my show. I am Aldridge T. Abington, bringer of daily entertainment that will enchant you. I have traveled the world, seeking delights and amusements, visiting every city, town, hamlet, and village of importance. I have seen dogs that can fly, monkeys that can sew, and a half-man that, despite being an addle-headed fop, could juggle and please a harem at the same time. It's true! Now, let's get down to it! This remarkable woman first attained notoriety seducing alligators out of the swamp and into a pot of stew. Her snake dance will leave you questioning allegory. The mysterious Maya.
Oh nein. Das habe ich ja schon gesehen. Aber das war nicht die erste, ne? Ich guck's mir nochmal an. Ich gucke einfach mal.
You now understand her unbounded popularity and why she receives so many gentlemen callers. I am honored to present to you the greatest escape artist ever to live. Wow. Compositions have been written about his incredible feats of wonderment. I cannot delay this congregation one more second of experiencing the phenomenal display of the one and only Benjamin Lazarus!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the remarkable Benjamin Lazarus, the most incredible entertainer the world has ever seen. I have delighted concert saloons, variety theaters, and dime museums. I have just returned from London, where audiences stood riveted for an entire hour as I attempted to escape a pair of handcuffs. Yes, I am the king of handcuffs. But tonight, as promised in the stories you've read in the newspaper, I will introduce my latest invention. This steamer trunk of death. Now, you are aware I can escape from any contraption. In fact, I offer $10 to anyone who can fashion a device that can hold me. $10! Right. That's a week's wages. A piano maker has tried and failed. Why, I even went to the sheriff and dared him to lock me in jail so I could escape. He wouldn't do it. I performed jail escapes completely without clothes, and he still declined, knowing that no jail can hold me. Oh my God. Let me thoroughly explain my apparatus. It is a specially made steamer trunk manufactured in Pittsburgh. It contains 3 impenetrable locks, reinforced steel bands, and inside are razor-sharp daggers that forbid me to move even 1 inch. Finally, my assistant will place this device over my face that will not allow me to breathe. I can hold my breath longer than anyone in the world, but I cannot hold it forever. Now, I do not foresee any accident happening, but we know in life accidents do happen. Babies arrive, bones are broken from a horse kick, worse, are started. This is my most dangerous escape yet, and should anything go wrong while I am attempting to escape, and it is impossible for me to breathe, let me assure you, my assistant is trained in case of an emergency and will rush in with an axe to save my life. I pray that does not have to happen. Now, I encourage you to hold your breath with me as I enter this steamer trunk of death. But I ask you, is it a case or a casket?
Oh my God, I can't watch. Oh God, careful.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Remember, time and space are just an illusion. Death can't be cheated.
Incredible! Thank you for your positive accolades. I put on an incredible show, don't I? Incredulous, awe-inspiring. I encourage any man in this audience who has a high opinion of himself to square off with our next act. She is the strongest woman alive. Whoa. Presenting Miss Hortensia from the deepest of Bavaria.
Not again. Oh, also macht was anderes. Das wird lustig. Shit.
Oh, my head. That woman packs a hell of a wallop.
Hey, mein Hut.
Careful there. Hello, sirs.
Hello, mister.
Mein Hut ist weg. Aber es ist Nacht, ne? Was haben wir denn? Sehr gut. Schöner Zylinder. Ne, das sieht... Oh, das ist hier nix. Das sieht nicht so aus. Was da mal um?
On. Fight eat. Watch it. Anything. Please. You. Yes. Please. A coin. Please.
Go get yourself something to eat.
Coin? Sir, I want you to have this.
Thanks, friend.
It's nice to give something instead of just begging.
Ja, ja. Wo geht das Glücksspiel ab hier auf welchem Schiff?
Watch yourself.
Hier ist doch nichts, oder? Das nächste ist einfach nur ein Tanker, oder was? Ja, Quatsch erzählt.
How are you?
Ist er vielleicht noch da, oder was? Geh gleich mal hin. Gucken wir uns noch den Tanker an.
Hello there.
Ab.
Howdy. Howdy. It's all good. Calm down.
Was hat er denn? Darf ich hier nicht rein? Das macht das Ganze ja schon wieder interessant, aber hier ist nichts. Ja, dann gibt's halt mit diesem fetten Tonga. Ein Tenor. Hat der Tenor gesagt? Nee. Nehmen wir mal unser Pony und reiten auf die andere Seite.
Ride with me. Best driver in the county.
Muss das Pferd aus so einer komischen Kurve machen. mich wirklich, warum es hier kein Bett gibt. Da ist auch nichts. Guck mal, da ist wieder was. Gehen wir da noch hin. Nicht. Was war das? Fotostudio. Da muss ich gleich nicht hin. Auf ins Vergnügungsviertel. Ja, erst 2:44 Uhr, da kann ich mich in eine Theatervorstellung setzen.
How do you do?
Hey,
That was so bad. Hi, what can I do for you?
Hier weiß ich auf jeden Fall
Ticket, please.
Teil des
Make your way
Stars.
through the doors on either side of me.
Wieder Platz nehmen hier. Mein Lieblingsplatz.
Welcome, one and all. I'm going to take you on a journey around the world to parts unseen by most men. Why, I have traversed the great lands and oceans of the globe and bring you sights and scenes from places far away. Yes, a great deal of the world is populated by unwashed savages that don't have the decency to cover their reproductive organs. First, to jolly old England. You may wonder why, when you meet a British person, they have tiny red eyes, big ears, and long noses. We can now reveal the truth. Since the opening of the Underground Railroad system 30 years ago, the entire of London has moved beneath the earth. Just think of the joy children must feel being able to play unfettered by rain or refinery smoke. They are a dignified people, living among stalagmites in their dainty hats. And they have an underground king who worships an underground garden gnome. Have any of you been to New York City? It seems like the whole world is ending up on that tiny island. Now there's Lady Liberty, a marvelous statue. To welcome all the Irish people moving to our great country after all those potato problems. They are welcomed by tourists who toss potatoes out of the head of that lady. In New York City, they are making buildings so high, one day you can walk to the moon for a picnic. Wouldn't that be grand? It's true. Now, we spoke of that unwashed statue. It was a gift from France. How do you think France paid for such a gift? Wanton prostitution? Selling of wine and horse meat? No, sir. I'm here to tell you that underneath the streets of Paris, they have discovered black gold. That's right. And a few years ago, Gustave Eiffel of the Eiffel Oil Company built the tallest oil derrick in the world. Yes, all around Paris, you will find that thick business. It ignites like brandy, which is why so many French aristocrats drink it as an aperitif to aid digestion. The women of France are dainty and fair of skin, partially because they use that crude oil to bathe in, anointing and greasing their bodies, often before committing sinful pleasures of the flesh. Places that don't change their ways are falling behind. Visit the streets of Italy, and there is literally nobody left. The churches are empty. There's nobody drinking tiny coffees and slurping spaghetti in the streets. The Italians have never been known for good architecture, and their crooked buildings are falling over. Where have all the hairy women and men gone? Where are them Italians? It is one of the world's great mysteries. You may have heard talk of a horseless carriage being invented, powered by whale oil, vapors, or demons. Ironically, that is a myth. What is more exciting, the Germans have developed a mechanized horse that never needs to eat or sleep. It is a marvel of invention and is intended to facilitate the German army when it invades France or Russia in their campaign to spread the gastronomical wonders of low-quality beer, sausages, and sauerkraut. They love cabbage. But other than America, where we have plenty of room, it is so crowded in Europe that they are racing to set up a new country at the North Pole where they can dine on the delicacy of frozen fish, penguins, and polar bears. Imagine a place that never gets hot. You don't sweat while toiling in the field, and ice is much cheaper there. I predict that someday people of all nations will join hands at the North Pole, wearing furs and eating fish. My next adventure will be to visit Egypt, where I hear they live in giant triangles and talk in a Chinese-like language of birds and eyes and squiggly lines. And they worship cats, which is a bit worrisome and unsavory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on these fantastic journeys.
Sehr schön wieder mal, sehr schön.